I wish. I mean, it's been awesome. It's been so good. Definitely seen just such a growth year after year. So, I mean, it's been so fun. The fans in Indiana have been amazing. So, just excited to keep playing there.
What if I told you the secret to the Fever's success isn't just Caitlin Clark's insane skills? It's something way wilder.
So look, you've been on the Fever for 3 years now, but this year, you go from a rebuilding team to now you guys are selling out arenas. You're a fan favorite. You're being recognized on the street. Like, what has this been like? Is this like the basketball equivalent of being on the Beatles?
But I would say I don't think there's extra pressure. I think it's just, it's so much more exciting. It's an exciting environment, electric environment.
Hull just dropped a bomb about their locker room that's got everyone talking. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
It's so fun. It's so fun to have fans so engaged in a game, and I definitely feel like second half of the season, all of our shots, threes going up, fans are out of their seats and expecting it to go in. So that just feels so good to feel the confidence from them. And I think part of my role is just getting to the open spots, and we have such a good offense that people find the open person. So to be that open person, you get excited. You get excited for the opportunity to shoot and score. And
get this. It involves a pre-game ritual so crazy, even the coaches were like, what? But it worked. The Fever went from one date to playoff contenders. You gotta hear about the time Clark convinced everyone to do it before facing the Mercury. Spoiler, Diana Taurasi's face was priceless. You know what's crazier than Caitlin's Onc Court Magic? The stuff happening behind those locker room doors. Let me paint you a picture. It's halftime, and the Fever are down by 10. Everyone's heads are low, the energy's flatter than a deflated basketball. But then, out of nowhere, Lexi Hull steps up. She starts telling this wild story about a pre-game ritual that went totally off the rails. I'm talking mascot costume mishaps and pre-game smoothies gone wrong. Suddenly, the whole team's cracking up. Clark jumps in, adding her own crazy twist to the tale.
In our preseason games, we felt that even on draft night, we filled Gamebridge, which felt crazy. Like we're not even doing anything in Gamebridge, and people are excited to watch. We found out we had the number 1 pick, and once Caitlin declared, that kind of changed things, I think, for the city a little bit. People were just so excited to come support the Fever. We felt that.
Now they're all rolling on the floor, totally forgetting they're supposed to be bummed about losing. Imagine this. The coaches walk in, expecting to give some fire and brimstone speech. Instead, they find their team in stitches, laughing like they're at a comedy club. But here's the thing, something's changed. The energy in that room, it's electric now. Second half starts, and bam. The Fever are playing like a whole new team. It's like that laughter flipped a switch.
That's just a really cool environment, and it shows the dedication of the fans and the fandom in the city. So that part's been awesome. I mean, I don't think it's been too much of a change. I think it's all good things. I think, the biggest difference is walking through the grocery store in Indianapolis and trying to just go get some groceries and someone fist bumps me and says, "Go Fever."
They're flying up and down the court, making plays, sinking shots. The other team doesn't know what hit them, but you want to know the craziest locker room story Hull spilled about Clark. Picture this. It's a tough practice. Everyone's dragging. The music's blasting, trying to pump up the energy. Then out of nowhere, Clark yells, "Can someone turn it off? It's giving me a migraine." Hull said they were all dying because it was the funniest thing. That's Clark for you, lighting up the room even when she's complaining. You'd think it's all fun and games, right? But here's the real deal. Hull let slip that this isn't just about laughs. These girls are building something special off the court. She said, "I think even when I look back at our success at Stanford, a lot that came from really caring about each other and building those friendships off the court. It's like Clark brought this whole new vibe to the team." Hull said she brought an energy that electrified the entire team. That competitive fire, it's contagious. Everyone's pushing harder, playing better, and when things get tough, they've got each other's backs. So next time you see the Fever crushing it on the court, just remember, their secret weapon isn't some fancy play or high-tech training. It's the bonds they're building when no one's watching. That locker room, It's where the real magic happens. Remember when the Fever were the WNBA's punching bag? Yeah, those days are history. Hull just spilled the tea, and let me tell you, it's wild. Imagine going from playing in an arena so quiet you could hear a pin drop to suddenly not being able to find a single empty seat. That's the Fever's new reality, and it happened practically overnight. But hold up, it's not all glitz and glamour. Hull opened up about the pressure that comes with sudden fame, and it's intense. She said, "The spotlight is great, and it's a huge deal for the WNBA and women's sports. But like at the end of the day, our job is to perform. Can you imagine trying to sink free throws when millions of eyes are on you? That's what these girls are dealing with now. And get this, Hull shared this hilarious story about trying to grab groceries with Clark. Picture this. They're just trying to buy some milk, and suddenly someone fist bumps Hull and goes, "Go Fever!" It's like, can a girl get her cereal in peace? But that's their life now. Fame follows them everywhere, even down the frozen food aisle. Now, let's talk about social media. It's a whole other beast. Hull didn't sugarcoat it, she admitted. It's a hard part of the job, but it comes along with it. Imagine millions of people watching your every move, commenting on everything you do. One bad game and your mentions explode. How do they stay sane? It's not easy, but they're figuring it out. So how are the Fever handling all this sudden fame and pressure? It's like they're walking a tightrope. On one side, you've got the thrill of packed arenas and fans who love you. On the other, there's the pressure to perform and the constant scrutiny. But here's the thing, they're not just surviving, they're thriving. These girls aren't just playing basketball anymore. They're rewriting what it means to be a pro athlete. They're showing up at Colts games, taking team vacations to Mexico, and building bonds that go way beyond the court. Hull's game has gone through the roof since Clark joined. She's shooting at 63.2% since the Olympic break. That's insane. But you know what's really exciting? This might just be the beginning for Indy's new super team. They're young, they're hungry, and they're just starting to figure out how good they can be. The rest of the WNBA better watch out, because the Fever are coming in hot. And with Clark and Hull leading the charge, who knows how far they'll go. Alright, check this out. The Fever aren't just winning games anymore. They're flipping the whole WNBA on its head. It's like they found some secret formula, and it's way more than just Clark's insane skill. You know what's really cooking? That friendship between Clark and Hull. It's like they've unlocked each other's superpowers or something. Imagine where this team's gonna be in a year. Seriously, picture it. They're already shaking things up, and they're just getting started. The rest of the league better watch their backs, because Indy's coming in hot. They're not just aiming for wins anymore. They want that trophy, and with the way they're playing, who's gonna stop them? It's wild to think how far they've come, from the bottom of the league to the team everyone's talking about. That's the power of great teammates and even better friends. The WNBA is about to enter a whole new era, and the Fever are leading the charge. Buckle up, because this ride's just getting started.